And we now have in the studio law professor, Attorney Karen Jimeno. She's here to talk about her new show here on the Solar News Channel, Legal HD. Hi, Karen. It's nice to see you again.
Jing.
Legal HD is Legal Help Desk. Can you tell us what the show's about?
Well, the show is about providing free legal service to the public. So basically, we researched on, for our first 3 episodes, we researched on the common problems or common cases filed in court. And so our first episode is going to be about annulment and legal separation.
Okay.
And basically for us, we know that we think that the best solution is preventive, meaning you should know your legal rights, and by knowing your legal rights, you can avoid legal problems, because it is expensive to have to engage in litigation. And so at least by informing the public of what your rights are, what you should do under certain circumstances, then you can at least prevent having to go to court in the first place.
And the process, kasi kuminsan, it's not very clear to Filipinos what the process is like. Some people are scared about the process or don't have access to information about the process, and therefore just, you know, shy away and just sweep it under the rug.
Exactly, yes. That's what I find personally about Filipinos. They're very non-confrontational in that sense. So to the point that they don't assert their legal rights, which should not be the case, because especially, for instance, in a given personal situation, especially with annulment, when I was interviewing some of our case studies, they're sometimes abused in the relationship, but because they don't know what they can do, what legal remedies they have, then they just let things go by.
Are things changing in the Philippines? Is our culture changing in this area? Mas tumatapang na ba ang Pilipino in that regard?
It depends. Kasi minsan matapang, like one of the case studies I did, she wants to assert her rights, but she kept also repeating that I don't have the money for the legal fees for any litigation. So that's also usually something that stops them from asserting their rights. Sometimes they know their rights, they want to assert their rights, but they feel that they can't afford it. That's
usually the problem. People think, I can't afford it, so I can't go through it. But are there solutions to this, attorney?
Well, one, I think, as I've said, preventive is a good solution, because it's cheap.
All right.
And it's also going to save people time.
All right.
So knowing your rights first, then you can avoid being in situations where you might need legal service.
Okay.
But second is being informed of your rights and the procedure afterwards and your options. So in this show, we also tell them what their options are. Like, for instance, we tell them the procedure, and then some of the questions we get would be, what type of costs are involved? And those are things that we would answer as well. And then we can also give them options on what other groups they can approach. Because in this show, we would have guests, for instance, that provide also assistance with respect to certain legal issues. For instance, with annulment or legal separation, we have a group that provides assistance to women, and then it depends on what topic, but we do get in touch with NGOs as well, so that they can assist the public.
There's so many issues, like, for example, family relations, inheritance.
Yes, inheritance is a very touchy issue, especially since we have a very strong culture in our
family culture.
Yes, exactly, where you don't want to cause problems and.
But these problems do exist.
Yes, of course.
And when are you airing?
We start airing on November 26th.
Okay.
Monday. Yes.
And your first episode?
It's about annulment and legal separation.
And legal separation.
Yes.
And you're doing this with Attorney Nepomuceno.
Yes.
And this is a weekly show. On what day, what time?
Every Monday, 10 p.m. after the news, after the evening news.
After the evening news, after the late night news. Well, it's really, really good to have you in the Solar News family. We're excited about your program. And more than anything else, we're excited to be of help to our audience.
Thank you so much, Jing.
Karen, thanks for coming this early morning.
Thank you.